nice, right?
How many threes did Marcus make last year?
A percentage of 26.
Want to know why they're leaving you open? It's because they don't think you could hit the ocean from the beach.
Life imitates art for Oscar winner Ben Affleck in his latest drama, The Way Back, as we see his character struggle with addiction, a broken marriage, and a shot at redemption.
Sportsnet's Donovan Bennett had the chance to sit down with Affleck and his co-stars to hear more about this story, and it's with Devo at St. Michael's Choir School in the gym, throwing things literally over to them now. Slam dunk.
Listen, our percentage is better than 26%, than better than Marcus. Don't you worry about that. Because you saw us, we've been hitting everything beside what you saw.
But I'm already tired.
Yeah,
I can't even talk about the movie anymore.
We're sweating and out of breath. Donovan, you got a chance to sit with Ben Affleck. Talk about this film first and tell us kind of the quick overview of what's happening in this one.
Yeah, it's fascinating because in the film, Ben Affleck plays Jack Cunningham, who is someone who's struggling with addiction, struggling with a falling apart marriage. Sound familiar?
Life imitating art, as we're saying. Yeah.
No question. So going into it, I was really curious because our life is really a bunch of our choices. Why someone who could do anything at this point, who's doing 4 movies this year, chose to do this one specifically out of rehab. And his answers were pretty honest and fascinating.
All right, let's check it out. Your shot.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yes.
You know, this to me is like what I'm really interested in now. It's like a real acting performance piece where you get to show a whole range of emotions. I've been through phases in life where I was interested in different kind of movies. I got really interested in big studio movies and the Armageddon type movies, and that was really fun. And really focusing now on like kind of inspirational stories about real people facing adversity and how they deal with that. While it is quite realistic about A, addiction, and B, grief, it also shows that that doesn't necessarily sort of define a person. You know what I mean? That you're the solutions to your problems rather than the problems themselves.
Devo, you're on the other side.
About the film. You also talked to his cast members who were kind of in awe of what he was doing and kind of his role in this film as well. Because they're saying this is one of his best roles in years. Armageddon, we've seen him in, of course, so many films, right?
Yeah, Accountant, Argo.
Yeah.
And so the interesting thing to me is the cast members were in awe of him because he's really a celebrity, but love the fact that he really dived in and did the work in terms of being present on film and on set. And that's what they told me.
All right, let's check that out. My shot.
Get in.
To have him, you know, champion you and back you up through the scenes, it just reassures you of the reason why you're there and gives you confidence to do your job. And he leads by example.
When he would arrive to work every day, he never left set. So I was never waiting for him. Most actors are going back to the trailers. They're on the phone, they're doing whatever they're doing. He was always sitting there reading a book.
He surprises you, and he's so present, and I felt like I'd worked with this guy 100 times, even though it was my first time.
Ben and I could always be found, you know, off set with our 2 directors' chairs just talking about real life. We were both going through some pretty tough stuff in our personal lives at the time. This man on this tour has been very honest, and I didn't think that was going to happen because it's extremely hard. Honesty is sometimes, mostly, the only way through, and that's what he's doing in his life right now.
All right. Sport plays a big part in a lot of people's lives because this movie is not just about sports, but it's also about real life things happening.
No question. And sports, for me, is the best version of reality TV. That's why we see so many films about sport. And what I learned through these characters, some who love sport, some who didn't, was that it was a great way for them to tell us some life lessons through the telling of a sports tale.
All right, let's see that.
And sports can be an escape. We saw that for the characters in the movie. Is that the same for you guys?
Watching sports for me used to be a bit more of an escape. I find something about baseball kind of meditative. It's slow. It's, you know, you don't, you know, it can be escapist.
Yeah, it is boring, man. Yeah. Playing it is fun. Watching it is like golf.
Football is probably more fun to watch, you know,
yeah.
especially if you got the Patriots.
In team sports, what happens on a field or a court and your relationship with a coach is very much analogous to what happens in real life, just in regard to competitiveness, in regard to, you know, setting goals and accomplishing them. All these things that you apply to sports to be champion or to thrive are things that you apply to real life.
In the way that theater saved my life, sports saves lives.
Yes.
And you just can't discount that.
I heard your coaching basketball.
That's amazing, dude. Great stuff. Of course, Ben Affleck, The Way Back, in theaters today. I'm going to see that, man. Well done.
I'm going to go see it again.
Yes,
actually.
you are. At Donovan Bennett on Twitter. You can check him out on Sportsnet as well. You ready? One last shot.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. We got to do this. We got to hit it.
All right.
Okay, you're up. No. And, all right, we're going to take things airborne, and we're going to try and hit some buckets.